When we hear about digital health, we generally think of a smartwatch or a fitness tracker on our smartphones. But did you know that digital health technologies are revolutionizing the medical field? And I work in the medical field, so I'm personally excited to see so much of innovation coming to market so quickly to help save lives. These technologies can help doctors with early diagnosis of cancer, manage and treat difficult chronic conditions such as diabetes or heart disease, and many people are suffering. This innovation is very, very important for us to improve the standard of care and help everybody. That's why I'm personally excited about that. Hello everyone, I'm Naveen Agarwal and welcome again to my weekly video update. In this video, I will talk about a new innovation based on artificial intelligence and machine learning. It's called GI Genius, which has just received clearance by the US FDA for marketing in the United States. It's already available in Europe, but now it'll be available in the US as well. And what it does, it helps during colonoscopy. And people at a certain age, we have to go through this screening. It's an important thing. It helps the doctor detect polyps at a much better rate, with a much higher confidence. Their performance is much better because we know if they are undetected, these polyps may grow and you can have cancer. The purpose of the screening is to detect these polyps and remove them so that they don't become cancerous or they don't grow too much. So this kind of technology will help improve the outcome of this screening process. That's why it's important. And if you're in the quality regulatory field in the medical device business, like I am, I will also talk about in this video the new regulation FDA has established through the Novo decision. What it is, what kind of special controls they are requiring for these types of devices, I will go through that in this video. But share in the comments below your questions, your interest. It could be a general question or comment about digital health that you are interested in learning more about, or a certain medical condition you, your loved ones or friends are suffering from that you may be interested in learning how digital health technologies can help there. Please share below and I will follow up with more videos in the future. So I will be talking about this topic in the future quite frequently. Every week I produce a new video, so your comments and feedback will be very helpful for me. Okay, so we're talking about 4 different things. What this device is, why should we care, what are the benefits, how does it work, and how is FDA going to regulate these types of medical devices. So let's look into that. So this is GI Genius, power of AI applied to colonoscopy to improve adenoma detection rates, ADR. And again, let me also say clearly that I do not have any affiliation with the companies involved. So this is not an endorsement. This is a review of this technology and product for the purpose of exchanging this information in an easy to understand way. So I like this graphic. I have talked about it in an introductory video on digital health. You can find that on my YouTube channel. But digital health is a big space. This kind of a graphic gives us a frame of reference. So this product is on the right hand here, medical image data focused on the needs of the doctor because it's helping the doctor improve the performance during the procedure. There are many digital health products on the consumer side. I talked about smartwatches, fitness trackers, genome data. Those are consumer products. But this one is improving the ADR, which is adenoma detection rates. Adenoma is just a medical term for the tissue-like growth, the polyp that can grow. And it may be missed as part of the procedure. And if it is missed, it could become a cancerous tumor and you might have a bigger problem. So early detection can help reduce the risk of colorectal cancer. Let's look at some numbers from American Cancer Society. CRC is the 3rd leading cause of cancer-related deaths in the US. And they're estimating in 2022 alone, new cases, 150,000 new cases, and about 52,000 deaths. This is tragic. In this year, this may happen. So anything we can do to help with early diagnosis is a good thing. Adenoma detection rates range from 7% to 52%. That number shocked me, because even the best doctor, under the best working condition, with the best equipment today, may be right just half of the times. Half of the times they might miss it. So anything we can do to improve that should be a benefit, a big benefit. In a randomized clinical trial, use of GI Genius increased ADR by 30% over standard HD detection. Over the standard care, 30% better detection rate. That's a wow. And again, as I said, I don't have any affiliation with these companies. This is not an endorsement, but I'm impressed with this kind of a number. Because 1% increase in ADR decreases CRC risk by 3%. As a risk management professional, I understand this benefit. This is a pretty significant benefit. If you just increase your ADR by 1%, you will reduce the risk of CRC by 3%. And there's a study I gave a reference to, which will provide more information, and I'll give you that reference as part of the video. So, very big benefit, and it has been proven in the clinical trial. What are the risks? So let's understand that in the context of what FDA is expecting. This is a class 2 medical device. This classification was done through the Novo process because there's no predicate device. Predicate meaning something that is similar to this type of a product that could be used for a 510K, typical 510K clearance, which is a much faster regulatory pathway. But in this case, it's a brand new innovation, brand new technology. So as a result, it went through the Novo process. The trade name is GI Genius. They create a new regulation, 21 CFR 876.1520. That regulation specifically applies to these types of devices. That name is Gastrointestinal Lesion Software Detection System, Class 2, product code is QNP. So in future now, FDA has established a regulatory framework. A similar device in the future can go through a 510K process, which is a much faster process, by using this classification, and a predicate device. The GI Genius now has become a predicate device for future development. But as part of that, they are requiring some special controls to manage the risk and make sure the device remains safe and effective. And why is that required? This is not a diagnostic device, but it is supposed to help in the diagnosis. So what if it provides information that results in a wrong decision by the doctor? False positives, false negatives. That's a risk. And the second risk is that what if the doctor over relies on it so much that they don't use their medical judgment and do the diagnosis that they are supposed to do? That's another risk. There are other risks too, especially if there are hardware involved, but we're going to focus on those two risks. And FDA has outlined as part of this decision their expectation for special controls. Clinical and non-clinical testing. They require not only non-clinical software testing, performance testing, but show it in a clinical trial that the device is working as it's supposed to work. Usability assessment. Remember, they're worried about doctors over-relying on this device. Especially, by the end of the day, they have already done 5 or 6 procedures. They are tired, they are overworked, and now they're over-relying on it. That's a risk. So you have to prove that through usability assessment that it's less likely to happen. If you have a hardware, which this software is inside a box, for example, connected to a video monitor, getting some inputs, providing some outputs. So there is some hardware interface, electromagnetic compatibility, electrical safety, mechanical safety, thermal safety for hardware components. Those kind of testing has to be done. And there are standards for that testing. Software verification, validation has to be done. And as a risk management person, I like this idea that hazard analysis should also be done. Labeling is important. Clearly provide a warning that this is not a diagnostic device. Don't over-rely on too much. Use your judgment. That has to be clearly communicated through this labeling. Okay, now as an engineer, this is the exciting part to me. How does it work? This device is a software that uses artificial intelligence, machine learning, advanced algorithms to aid in detection of colonic mucosal lesions via white light endoscopy in real time. So it's a video feed, many frames per second. And the software is analyzing those frames and it creates a box like this where the software thinks there might be a lesion based on the algorithm. So how does that work? Very interesting. The engineers will collect a large amount of data, hundreds of thousands of frames, many videos from clinical trials, and they'll divide that into a training set and a validation set. So part of the data they will use to train the software, develop this algorithm, which is a neural network, to recognize certain features on the image as a lesion or a polyp, and be able to say when it's a feature, when it's not a feature. So they do a lot of work together with doctors, with the experts who are classifying those features, and the software is learning. And then once you have done that, you go use the validation data set and go back and forth until you are satisfied with the performance of the software. There might be some metric you have to establish, that it has to be right a certain number of times, both when it's positive or negative. So when you meet those criteria, you have developed the algorithm. It doesn't end there. You have to validate this in a clinical setting. And I came across this YouTube video, which I'll give you a link to, where the doctor and the engineer, actually they're working together and they are doing it in real time. And here is the polyp. And in fact, I saw as part of the video, the doctor went in and removed it. And it was in a location difficult to find. So this is a good tool which will allow the doctors to, it's like an early warning system. It'll allow them to go to the right location, do a little bit more probing, and make the decision whether it's a true signal or not. So to me, this is exciting. We know, these technologies are becoming a lot mature. Artificial intelligence, machine learning methods are becoming more mature, and it's great to see them applied in the medical field. It's also great to see the regulatory authorities like the FDA carefully reviewing all the information that is submitted to them and making a risk-based decision to allow marketing of these products, because this will create an ecosystem, a very, I would say, virtuous cycle. More of that happens in the marketplace, more new products will come, and they will come to market much faster. It's a very exciting time to be in. Okay, so to summarize, GI Genius is an artificial intelligence machine learning based software algorithm that is helping doctors improve the ADRs, which is adenoma detection rates. From the regulatory perspective, it has been classified as a class 2 device, and a new regulation has been established with expected special controls. More to come in this area of digital health technologies in the medical field, and I'll be keeping an eye on these types of developments and bringing you these innovations in future videos. I look forward to hearing from you, and thank you for your engagement.